Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today is Saturday and I'm in here on my not day off doing not day off stuff. Last Saturday I spent the day with Caleb and we removed this from another facility. Last Sunday I installed a lot of this, or at least got it in out of the weather. And then all week this week I've been whittling away at this thing, making it become a reality again. From here back it's all bolted down. I have to move the lift into position and then we will actually be able to start using the rear barrel. I need to square up the front barrel to the rear barrel and then I can lock it down and then it'll be fully functional. Pretty exciting. I'm very happy with this new piece of equipment, and I'm looking forward to getting some use out of it. But this isn't why I'm here today. Today I'm here to get something done because since I've been working on this thing all week, I need to get a couple things accomplished so that they're not here on Monday. And I decided the quickest and easiest thing for me to do would be this 1970 Ford exhaust install. This guy right over yonder. I'll take you over there, I'll show you around it, and show you what we're going to do, and then we'll take you along for the ride. Come on. This is a super nice 1970 Ford F100 Ranger XLT. It's got some great patina on it. Super clean floors. Green on green, the color of money. Looks like somebody put a new dash in it because it's gorgeous. Twang! Must be a Texas truck. I do have a soft spot for Ford pickups. Ooh. Somebody spent a bunch of time and money. Inner fender wells are brand new or been pulled and repainted. Super clean install. Very nice. Let's take a look and see what they brought us. What's in the box? Break that new camera. Trying to break the new camera right off the rip there. All right, looks like we've got a slip fit exhaust system from Flowmaster and some Headman Headers. Ooh, shorties. Ooh, toting shorties from Headman. Well, those will be nice. And they'll look good too. Oh yeah. Let's get the old manifolds off this thing. Yeah, painted core support, painted the fender wells, the chassis all beautiful under this thing. That's the right way to do a patina rod, man. Pop the hood and everything's brilliantly clean. It's awesome. Oh, it's so dainty. Oh, it's cracked. Cracked in a couple spots. Alright, those horribly inefficient log manifolds are gone. Let's put some headers on. Alright, so we're going to install these Headman headers with some Proform locking header bolts. These are the 3/4 inch length, which will be fine for basically everything, cast iron heads. The Headman headers came with a nice Headman header gasket set, so we'll use those. And let's get this thing together. Then we can move on to the exhaust portion of this modification. These Proform bolts use a flanged washer that's got teeth in it to help lock it in place. They're a pretty cool little unit. These are grade 8 bolts as well. I always prefer my headers to have a flat surface instead of the welded and then ground surface like this, but these will work. Let's slide these guys on there and hopefully not break a spark plug. I recommend removing the spark plugs when you're doing these. Serious core support. It's a nice tight fitting header. Those would probably work in a Mustang too, or a Mustang as well. Nobody builds Mustang 2s, although they're probably the cheapest thing out there that you can find right now, so maybe people will start building Mustang 2s. So I have to take this back off because I didn't catch that the number 4 bolt needs to be installed first because the header tube wraps around it. Man, there is so much room to work in this engine bay, it's unbelievable. This small block Ford looks tiny in here. So when I tighten down header bolts, I go over them 3-4 times to make sure they're all tight, because as you'll compress them, other ones will be looser. And I want them to be tight all the way across and even. And then after it goes through heat cycle, they'll get tightened again. That side feels pretty good. We'll move over to the next side. There we go. Let's get under this mother. So this kit is the Flowmaster American Thunder 817938, 67 to 72 Ford F100 250 and 350s with a 5 liter 5.8, 5.9 and 6.4 short or long bed. So this is a kit, and it has front pipes, but they're not designed to go into your engine. It's just your front pipes. So you have to figure out a creative solution to connect the system to the engine. And depending on your manifolds or headers or long tubes, that's going to be different for every application. So this is a complete exhaust kit with 3 different styles of tips for the exhaust outlets. And more than likely we're going to cut up the exhaust outlets you did not use and turn them into our front pipes. To do that, I'm basically going to have to remove the exhaust system because I have to start at the front and make my way to the back. I'm just going to drop it all out as one piece if I can, or at least drop it loose so that I can figure out where I need to go. So this is going to be some cutting, bending, and fitting to make it work with these headers. Some assembly required. So let me move some stuff around. I think I'll just bring my bender over here and get to work. Maybe I can get this thing done today. That would be optimal. We weren't supposed to look at this truck until Monday, but I was hoping this was going to be an easy win, and it's not looking like it is. Oh, goodness. Oh. That's awkward. Those don't fit. Why won't you fit, young man? It's going to have to be expanded. This is going to take some unique bends. This is all over the place. That's weird. So I'm going to use some of these tailpipe extensions that came in this kit, and I'm going to cut them up into a bunch of pieces and put some flanges on them and make them work. Probably a little longer than I want it to be, but you know, measure once, cut twice comes to mind. That's a nice thick pipe. These headers use a ball socket, which ironically is the same as an exhaust seal. Amazing that they did that. So I can actually duplicate these flanges. It just eliminates a weld point. But I'm going to kick this passenger side pipe down and over to match up with our lead pipe. Cut it off right at about the correct spot. Let's flange it real quick. Looks pretty good. Let's test fit. Happy with that. I think I'm going to cut about 1 inch out of there, which will allow me to give a rotation to this pipe and probably line it right up with the pipe that matches into here. So I'm going to make 2 cuts there to tighten up my gap. That should honestly get me pretty close where I want to be. Oh, I think I need a new cutter. This one's not cutting very good. Oh man, I'm just throwing stuff everywhere today. Take a little more out of that bend. We're gonna have a pretty complex bend there. So I fit my pipe together. I made a mark, so I'm gonna weld these two together, and that'll give me my downpipe from my passenger side header into my intermediate pipe, I guess we'll call it. Weld this up real quick. I'll be right back. So I finished up my front pipe, or my collector, off of the back of the header. It's going to come down, tuck in, and then that's going to go into this pipe. It goes into the front of my H pipe. I'm just going to do a slip fit connection here. That way my depth ends up being what it is, and I can put it together. So let's chuck it up and do a slip collar. Not quite perfect. Pretty close. This thick pipe. More rubber bands. The rubber bands have deteriorated. I'm going back so far. Wrong end. Don't mess that guy up. Now it still fits. Well, when you build an exhaust, you need to start at the front and move to the back. So something's going on with this where it's not fitting right. So we're gonna just remove it all from the truck, and then I'm gonna make my front pipes into this H pipe. Once I have the H pipe sitting where I want it, then I'll worry about the rest of it. Right now it's just in my way. I think I ended up making this one a little too short, trying to work with the exhaust in the car. So I am going to use this one on this side and cut the other one a little bit longer for over here, and then I'll just make my front pipe differently to fit the shorter pipe. Not a big deal, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to pull all this stuff that somebody spent a bunch of time putting up in here out, and then I'm going to start at the front. Thinks this is all going to fall down on my head here in a second. Let me grab a stand. All right. It's a puzzle. I'm going to try and hang my H-pipe up in here so I can get an idea of what I need to build for my front pipes. The one for the passenger side is pretty much done, but I need to do this one next. So let's do it. And the hole doesn't line up. Interesting. Where's the hole supposed to be? Mark forward cross member on both sides, inboard 2.5 inches from intersecting frame edge. Two and a half inches from intersecting frame edge on both sides. Well, there's part of our problem. Oh, that's at 2.5. That's 2.5-ish. Use rear frame hangers, oriented flanges out. Mark rear cross member on both sides. Inboard 4 inches from intersecting frame edge. That looks like 4 inches. Well, they drilled their holes in the right spots. What's the problem, man? For short bed vehicles only, trim 16 inches from the rear of the H-pipe for proper fit. Well, we're just gonna cram this guy in his hole for now. I always forget that these are offset in the back because the drive shaft is offset to one way. It always messes with my head. Well, we've got our brackets in where they say to hang them at. It's got a little outboard pressure, but I think it'll be alright. Gives me a relatively accurate place where I want my pipes to adjoin to. So let's do that next. So you can see I did that compound bend. It welded together pretty nice. Fits in nice and snug. And now I'm going to do a drop into the H-pipe. I'll put that up there. It's going to fall and make a flat spot on what's supposed to be round. Don't do that, dummy. Actually, I think that pipe's going to be just fine. I just need to install it correctly. Oh, I'll take it. Stand to sink that a little bit more, but I'm engaged enough. Happy with that path. Let's make our driver's side. Good start. And I'm taking a lot longer to do this than maybe I should. I always want things to look a certain way, so it takes a lot more time to do it. So for the driver's side, I'm going to cut up another piece of pipe that came in that kit. Cut it off right about there. Flare on our end, we'll cut it off right about there. And then we'll see what we need to do to adjoin it to our H-pipe. So we'll make a compound angle right there, come back, tie that into this pipe. I can weld both of those and assemble the rest of my back. This is a clamp together system, so we can just clamp it. That way if the guy wants to take it apart, he can take it apart. Pretty nice kit, really. Got nice clean bends, non-squish bends, which is why I'm cutting and welding all the pipe, so that my tube diameter stays consistent. So so you can see that compound bend lines up nice. I've got a slip fit here, which I'll weld the entire circumference. And then I've got the Flowmaster slip fit with a clamp here, which allows me to have a separating front pipe into my H pipe, and then I'll continue everything else out the back. So I'm going to pull this apart, weld this guy up here, then I'll weld this guy up here, and that'll be that. Then we can move this thing towards the door. Not too bad. I'm not a great welder, but I get better at it the more I do it. Looks alright. It'll do just fine. Let's hang these front pipes back up in there and start building our exhaust, finally, now that we have some front pipes. Alright. I think that's going to be just fine. Let's grab our other front pipe. Alright, let's see if we can get our H pipe to fit. That's our next battle. Beetle battle. Now I made this one a little bit longer, so I'm going to put it onto this pipe first, and then I'll get it hopefully aligned up to the other one, and then slam them home. Oh, you dummy, you needed to put your clamps on there. That was silly. Where are my clamps at for that? Oh, I bet they're in the box, because they weren't on there. Hang on a second. Well, the good news is it fits. I think that's going to be a winner. Well, now I got to take it back off. Hey! It goes together, it comes apart. That's amazing. Oh, I'm real happy with that. Nice tight fit. I don't want that clamp to be right on that separation, so I'll put them on top. So I've got all my hangers hung and locked down. Now I'm going to lock down my mufflers and then my tailpipes nice and even, because they're what kind of makes everything work. This is a really nice kit now that it's all installed from the front to back correctly. Not that it wasn't installed correctly before, but mating up those front pipes into something that's already existing is a lot harder than building it from the front and taking it all the way to the back. So this kit looks to just have the mufflers level. So I'm going to level my muffler. Oops, kick the camera. I'm going to go ahead and lock this one down. But I don't want my bolt to be across the gaps, because there's gaps where this compresses. So I want my joint to be 90 degrees off from those, and that'll make them sit nice. I'm not sure this one will sit correctly. It'll probably be okay. That'll be fine. Lock it down. I want these guys to be nice and level. I'm actually using the hanger to judge that, because these are pretty precision bent units. I'm going to lock those down. This is one rigid system. So now they have these tailpipes coming out in the back corners, shooting down at the pavement. Let's stick those on. And this Flowmaster kit comes with 3 different tailpipes. It's got one that comes out right there at an angle, and they've got one that comes down and out here, although I use those to make my front pipes because the customer had these installed, so these are the ones he's gonna get. Well, there you have your American Thunder 81, 79, 38, 67 to 72 Ford F100 250 350 with a 5-liter 5.8 5.9 6.4 two-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Oh, it doesn't say 4-wheel drive, it just says 2-wheel drive. Trucks without factory auxiliary fuel tank, short bed, long bed. Very nice kit. I highly recommend it. Let's see what it sounds like. And it's nice because with the extra tips they have, I didn't have to like use any of my own supplies to make the front pipes. I just used the pipes out of the kit, cut them up, fabbed them up, welded them together. I spent a lot more time doing it than I probably should have, but I like it to be neat and tidy. So it is what it is. Pretty good parts kit, pretty good directions. They literally just give you measurements on the frame to put your mounting points for your hangers, which is nice. And the hangers are included, which is also nice. And the mufflers are included. Pretty good kit. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. Up this little session with this 1970 F100. Pretty nice little Ranger. A little different than today's Rangers. But yeah, pretty happy with how the exhaust turned out. Looks good, sounds good. It's got a good look to it. I'm probably gonna trim the exhaust tips off flush with the back bumper. I haven't done that yet. One little last bit. But yeah, real happy with that Flowmaster exhaust system. Check them out, see what they have. Maybe they have something for your car out there. With that, it's time to move on to an El Camino. We're putting a disc brake conversion on a GMA body from Drums, which is probably something a lot of you guys have done or would like to do. I know we need to do it on Austin's Pontiac and my Buick. So there'll be a lot of that going around here pretty soon. At any rate, click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll see you on the next one.